and important work as well. So yeah, we'll just get our slideshow back here for everybody.
Yes.
And maybe everybody can just give us thumbs up here in a second and confirm that you can see our slideshow that we're sharing our screen. Yes, we're good. Okay. All right. Perfect. Thank you. And see a little bit of a lag there. So we'll just take over from here. And are you able to see the full screen, or do you see the group? There we go. That'll work. All right. Peter.
Hi, my name is Peter Lucassie, born and raised in Italy, and I'm a young Inuit and proud to be Inuit. And I love my work. What I'm doing in Ottawa right now is to help homeless out in the streets, like Indigenous people, Métis, Inuit. I'm helping out, doing my job, what I have to do. So I'm doing that, and helping them, giving them food, giving them shelter to be in, giving them clothing, giving them whatever what they need and what they can't afford. So that's my job in Ottawa right now.
Okay. We'll go to the agenda. Oops.
Here's the agenda, what we're gonna do. At 12:15, I'll welcome myself and introduce myself. And at 12:20, we'll do Inuit cultural values. And at 12:30, we're gonna do the 38 Inuit societal values. And at 12:45, 8 justice IQ principles. And at 1 o'clock, you guys can ask questions and we can answer them. And then 1:30, we'll finish up what we've done to do this presentation.
Thanks, Peter.
You're welcome. Here's the Inuit societal values, what I'm gonna talk about, what in my eyes I see in the culture, what we've been going through.
Okay, just don't put slide ahead. You're on top.
Here's a circle, the inner circle, the brown one. I can talk about the sila, like we can know about the land and the water and know when to go hunting, the best time. If it's windy, we can go hunt caribous because they'll be walking around and they'll be eating. And when it's nice out, the calm waters, we can go for seal hunting or beluga hunting, walrus hunting. And the culture, the next one is the culture, what we've been going through. Like we can have activities out on the land to do something at least once a day, like to do drumming, to do throat singing, to play some bone games, or anything to make us have fun on the activities out on the land. And the other one is the people. It's so fun being around people on the land and teaching them how to do stuff out there and make stuff and do like chores out there, like cleaning up the land or making it look nicer. That's pretty much it for that one. And you'll see the circle outside is the youth. Those are the youth are trying to learn and teach, like learn and listen what culture is all about and make the whole culture be like, make it be a lifestyle from nowadays. And then you see the outer circle, those people who's outside, those are the elders who's watching us, who's teaching us, and make sure they're listening. And they back away slowly, they back away and make the youth go into that elders position after. So in the future, those youth can teach the other youth. They can make the culture be a lifestyle, make sure that's gonna be there still.
Next one, we just have a short little video here. Some of you may be familiar with Peter Yarnick. He certainly has a storied past with Nunavut, and is certainly renowned for his ability to be able to share Inuit cultural values. I'll play it here. You should be able to hear it. I hope.
Oops.
Dave, we're not hearing the audio.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, thanks very much. We're going to see if we can fix that.
I never know how to do that. Advanced sharing options.
One solution is to play it from that computer and then just face it from the camera so they can hear it.
Oh,
Or just pick up the audio. That means I need to fix my sites. It might be easier just to fix this one here. So everybody gets to watch me work feverishly. Thank you for your patience. Here for a sec. Choose where it plays out. Okay, let's give this a try again. Let's leave that open. And to slideshow. Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear it when it starts here. No? Still no? Okay, we may have to send it. We're not going to waste your time here. We'll send the videos with
perfect. Super.
with Nalini, and that'll show. Okay. We'll just stop that. Okay. Can we just minimize it?
Yeah, super.
And get rid of those guys. Thanks. Okay, Peter.
Here's the recognizing traditional lifeway style, the seasonal of the what do you call it?
The hunting season.
The hunting seasons. You got every season like spring, summer, winter, fall. You can always go hunting, and that's for all the season and things. And for us Inuits, we love to harvest food so much because that's our number one main food out there. Because like if the stores are getting more expensive and we can't afford those groceries, so our last resort is hunting. We can't afford the food and the groceries because it's the price is way too high. So we go out hunting, try catch what we can catch and harvest what we can harvest, and give we give the food away too to elders. We go hunting for elders too, and we go hunting for the community, and you go hunting for yourself. Like that's all we do is hunting to harvest food, to make food in our freezer. So we won't run out of food and we don't need to go to the grocery store what we can't afford. So we go hunting every season. You can catch caribou in the summer, but you need tags for now. And Nunavut and polar bear, you need tags. And you can go seal all year long for winter, fall, or summer. And the fish there too, you can do it all year long too. Like we have all things all differently of season of hunting and sharing the food there.
So maybe just for you folks to put it into a little bit of context, and Peter and I have talked a great deal about this. So when court is coming to a community and folks are being requested to attend court, and there's a season where a species is available, there's an awful lot of pressure from family to participate in those hunts. And so there is an obligation to attend the court. Peter be the first one to tell you when mom and dad or grandma and grandpa or everybody, all the families there saying, we're going hunting today, it's pretty darn hard to say no. Because the expectation is you will attend. And so that really causes a conflict for Inuit because they obviously they want to do the things that they're supposed to do to be responsible citizens, but they also have that responsibility to family. Peter talked a little bit about the wage economy and the ability to be able to afford food at the grocery store. So, you know, living here in the north, and it doesn't matter which community we're in, there's a cost of food, and it's exorbitant. It doesn't matter how much money you make; it costs a lot. And you can imagine when you have a family of multi-generations living in a house and a number of folks to feed, the cost of that food is just unattainable. It doesn't matter how much money you're making in the wage economy; it really creates difficulty. So that pressure to go and harvest from the land is a real thing. That's how we eat, right? And so those conflicts unfortunately come about, and because the Inuit society is not as familiar with the colonial justice system as they are with their own cultural values, they go to what they know, and this creates conflict and a real push-pull, right? And I'm sure all of you have experienced that as you worked in the communities, right? Thanks, Peter.
Yeah. Here's the 38 societal values you guys gonna see and learn about. Here's the 38 of them. You guys can take a minute of looking at them, but I picked the 5 most reason why I pick in my life what I've seen through my eyes, but you guys can see this for 1 minute and I'll talk about what's the most important to me in my life.
Some of you may have seen this slide before, and there has been an awful lot of work completed with regards to publishing the 38 Inuit societal values. And it was interesting when Peter and I were talking about this, and we were trying to relate this to a Western approach. It's really doesn't matter which environment we come from, we all have cultural values. We all have things that we respect in our culture. and Inuit are no different, but because it's been difficult for us to understand from a Western perspective, we've been able to capture some of the essence of this in the 38 Inuit societal values. So Peter will talk about 5 of them here just a little bit later. That's important to him. So the protective factors through connection values. So there's things like sharing, love, respect. Sorry, we're on the next slide. Sharing, love, respect, generosity, equality, significance, listening, trust, and family. So Peter, maybe just explain to us what listening means.
Listening for us, Inuit, we love to listen, and like if the elders talk to you to do this and don't do this, well, listen, and afterwards, then you can know what to do and know not what to do, because you listen to them, what they said to you.
Yeah. So from your perspective, it's really important when you're engaging Inuit in matters of the court that you're giving them the opportunity to speak and giving them the respect of listening. And the other piece that I would really encourage you is there's all kinds of different speech patterns and paces all through the region. And you may think somebody's finished talking when they're really not. It's just a pause. They're gathering next thought. And it's really hard when we come from that Western society, because we need to get things done. But I was okay, I gotta go. Like what's next? Let's go, right? So taking that moment and really taking that step back is really important and becomes significant for Inuit. Maybe Peter, just talk a little bit about the I don't want to do respect, but let's talk about equality here for a sec. What does that mean to you?
Equality means like what? Forgot.
It's okay. It's equal, right?
Okay, like equal, like
Nobody's better, right?
okay, yes, nobody's better at doing this, nobody's good at doing this. It's just equal ways how to do it and make it like smooth equally. Nobody's gonna win, nobody's gonna lose. It's just equal for matters there, because that's just part of life. Like nobody's gonna do like
Want to jump in and help a bit?
yes.
Yeah. So nobody's any better than anyone else. So there's an interesting fact that I learned when I first came to the North. There's no traditional Inuktitut word for disability.
Yeah.
Right. And the reason why there isn't is because everybody can do something. Right? Everybody can do something. So that equality really resonates in community. So somebody always has a job. And it doesn't matter about status. We all do the work. Right?
Yeah.
Thanks, Peter.
You're welcome.
Resiliency through Inuit societal values and work values. So these are things like volunteering, observing, practice, mastery, teamwork, cooperation, unity, consensus, and conversation. Peter, can you just kind of talk to us a little bit about, there's 3 of them that kind of tie together here. It's the observation, practice, and mastery. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. So you talk about it, and like you'll talk, you'll listen, and then if you make a mistake, you'll just keep going. If you keep making mistake, just keep practicing, and then you'll be master at it. After that, you'll observe it first. You'll like talk talk about it before you do it, and just make sure that they'll understand. And then they'll practice after. Just keep practice. And if you can't get it, just practice. Then once you'll finally get it, you'll be master at it. Like you'll be the one who's gonna teach the others after, and just keep passing it on to other people that who doesn't know how, so they can learn. And so you'll talk about it first, and you'll practice it, and then you'll be master at it.
So from your perspective, and when you're working with clients, we like to prepare from a Western approach. We like to prepare. We like to make sure people are prepared. We like to give them lots of instruction. And when we do that with our Inuit folks, that makes them feel really uncomfortable because it's not their culture to get that much detail and that much instruction and somebody telling them, okay, do this, do that, do this, do this. It's not natural for them, right? It's because the way that they are learning is they observe the task and they watch and they watch and they watch, and then they go try it.
Oral tradition.
The oral tradition. Yeah. Thanks, Peter. That was good.
I was just going to interject, and maybe you can repeat it. That's why I went as a West, like as a non-Inuit, like we talk a lot about like master carvers and the masters that are share their knowledge to build a county, and that is passing on tradition, just like your grandfather, you said, and your father.
Yeah.
You've learned a lot from them, right? It's not like all written in a book
Yeah.
and instructions. It's
Just watching.
yes.
Thank
Maybe you
you.
can just repeat it for you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so resiliency through Inuit societal values and coping. And I'm not, you guys can all read this, but maybe Peter, just talk to us about a couple of the items there that jump out to you. And explain to us what you, how you would describe these. So how would you describe strength?
Strength, like getting up, and like if you're tired still, but your mind still wants to do it, so you'll still keep doing it until you achieve your goal to make it happen. But if you're too tired still, there's always another day to do it, and there's always gonna be a way to find out to do it. Like good strength for your brain. And if that's all we do, just strength, like just keep on doing it, just keep moving forward, just keep going till it happens. We never give up. We may give up, but not physically kind. Just we always have a next day for doing it. And it's not in a rush. So you can always do it another day, but if your body is too tired, but your mind wants to keep going, so you keep going at it, just keep going nonstop.
Yeah, thanks, Peter. Another one I think that it's important for you to understand is what patience means for Inuit. And again, coming from our Western world, we're a little bit faster paced, and we have expectation that things are going to be completed, and we're going to meet milestones and deadlines. And from an Inuit perspective, patience is learned by hunting, the different experiences with hunting, waiting for the animals. Peter and I were talking about beluga hunting, and he's over in Cape Dorset, Kingnet. And there, when they hunt the narwhal, they hunt from shore. They don't race out in the boats like they do here in Iqaluit. They hunt from shore because it doesn't scare them away.
Yeah.
But you have to be very patient because you have to wait for them to come to you. So when we're working with clients and we're looking for some immediacy, or we're looking for some reaction, we're looking for something from them, it may be difficult to get. They're very patient, and it may take a while for them to process that they need to get something back to you, right? I gotcha. Thanks, Peter. And resiliency through Inuit societal values and coping. And certainly we could go through this, but I think you kind of get the idea here that resiliency comes from those values, those inherited values. And they aren't, and the interesting thing Peter and I were talking about was they're not necessarily spoken values. They're not necessarily, it's what I get up and do, right?
Yeah.
I don't talk about, oh, I need to be sharing today. This is, I wake up and I am. We were talking about the grocery store, and you share the story, Peter.
Like the grocery store,
Yeah.
like if it's too much and you can't afford the money.
No, sorry, but the elder's coming out with the groceries.
Oh, like, okay, like if someone like an elder or a person is like having difficult of lifting their groceries there, us Inuits, we walk up to them and help them. We help them no matter what they are, no matter what color you are, no matter what skin, or no matter where you came from. And that's just our way, just to help someone to help them carry their groceries there. And if it's in the southern world, they're gonna freak out and say, why are you doing this, and why are you trying to do this, and try yell at you. And I'm just being me myself. I'm just Inuit and trying to help. I've been doing this all my life, and that's what us Inuits love to do, like to help, even though if it's too heavy for them, too big for them to carry, we help them. That's all we do, just help nonstop.
Thanks, Peter, for sharing the story. That was when Peter first told me that story, I had a whole vision go through my mind, right, of that experience. Let's just see here, where are we? Okay, so we're at another video, so we'll get these videos out to everybody so you can take a look at them. They're not long videos, they're just a couple of minutes long, so it won't take a bunch of your time, but they are really valuable.
Here's the IQ within the justice sector, what we're gonna talk about.
So we're not going to do a whole session on impact of intergenerational trauma. We're not going to go down that road. But I was really hoping Peter could maybe just explain a little bit of what that trauma looks like for him. And the area that we looked at talking about was his grandfather and his dad, because they're both no longer with them, and what the impacts of that are. So you want to share your story?
Yes, this is a story I'm telling. When my grandpa and father was still alive, they were my teacher for what I have to do on the land, for my culture, and what they seen in their own eyes. And then when they pass away, they're not my teachers no more. I have no more, but I have to look for like other people who is in the like both like elder and a father figure. I have to look for that on my own again, like just try and keep my culture a lifestyle and make sure know what I would do out there, because my dad and my grandfather was my teacher only, and I lost that. I'm still learning out there right now, because they were my teacher out there and I have no more. So I have to look out for other people now, so I'm still learning out there right now. But
Thanks, Peter.
yeah.
Thanks for sharing your story. So Peter and I had an opportunity, we were talking about folks that come into contact with the justice system and what that feels like for them and what it and the reason why it feels like what it does for them. And it's a scary situation. And Peter was able to explain to me, so how is justice managed or poor behavior managed in community, Peter?
Like,
Somebody does something wrong.
oh, like, yeah, if somebody does something wrong, we go to our elders and we talk to them, and then before like any of like justice before came to Nunavut there, like we would go talk to our elders and discuss what's gonna happen next, and well do what we have to do instead of bringing them to justice. And the elders will talk to each other, they'll gather and talk about what's gonna happen next. And if you can't go near him, so we can't, all the elders are gonna watch what you're gonna do and what you're doing. So if it keeps happening, they're gonna come back to us and keep talking about it and keep doing that and make sure it's not gonna happen again. Like if you're in trouble and you don't have no one to talk to, we go to our elders and discuss what's gonna happen next and make sure they're gonna watch us, what we're doing, and everything like that.
Thanks, Peter. So I think the piece that I want to share with you is that the elder discipline is culturally learned. It's inherited. The folks understand what is going to happen because it's talked about. It's seen. It's observed in community. Where the colonial justice system is scary and confusing because it's not discussed and it's not learned about. It's not really observed. And the only time you're really observing it is if you're unfortunate enough to be in front of it. And so therefore it does become pretty overwhelming. Thanks, Peter.
Yeah.
So I don't think I need to educate you guys as to what your 8 principles are with regards to the justice system, but the things, I think the takeaways are that discussion is really at the root of overcoming a lot of confusion and a lot of distrust and a lot of the fear. Discussion will also allow you to be able to understand the pressures that family is maybe putting on the individual with regards to community responsibilities. Hopefully that makes a little sense. The next slide starts into the 5 values that Peter feels pretty strongly about with regards to the 38 Inuit societal values. And he's going to go through those for you.
Here's the first one I pick is resilience. Resilience. Resilience, like we go through hard time and we go through like tough times, but look, we're still here. We love to move forward with our life and make the toughness, like the tough and hard time past us, and make sure that we're gonna still be here and talk about it and not hold it inside you. And you have to talk it out and make the feelings go out of you and make the stressness goes out of you. So if that's my thing there. I like to talk about my hard time when I'm feeling down. Like I put it out of me, and I get nice and light after, and I get brightness in me after. And the second one I pick is strength. The, that is my thing out on the land when we're hunting, and when we walk so far to catch these animals, because we don't bring Hondas or anything out there. We walk and we have strength to push ourselves and have the strength to bring it back what you harvest to the cabin. I love that strengthness of me when I'm out there on the land. And the third one I pick is helping. Helping is the best thing in life what we can do in our Inuit life. Like I said earlier, like helping everyone out there and make sure everything's gonna go where it has to go, and helping our Inuits what's gonna happen this day and next day. It's just nothing but help for me out there for me to.
Good.
And the fourth one I picked is listening. I listen to my elders. I listen to my my hunters who are in the community. It's like if they talk about where you can't go when you're skidooing, when it's like melting, like I listen to them, and I listen to the elders what they been doing out on the land when they were out there, and like just listening to my elders and my hunters out there. That's the main reason why I love listening, so I can learn things what I been listening and make it happen after. And the fourth one is honesty. Like if you do something bad, doesn't matter how bad it is, just be honest to everyone and anyone. Just be honest. If you tell a lie, it's just gonna make it go worse. So talk to your elders and be honest. It doesn't matter what you do, or it doesn't matter what you have done bad. It's just be honest. Honest thing is just number one thing too in life.
Peter.
And the fifth one I pick is sharing. This is the main thing I love too, is sharing what I catch, what I like. I share to my elders. I grew up like that, growing up, like teenager life. I was going hunting all my life with my grandparents when they were still alive. I'll bring food to them, and then bring food to the elders back in the Khali into their tables there. I'll go to them and share my food catch. It doesn't matter if I finish the food what I catch, because there's always extra day to go for yourself or your family or your friends. That's what I love to do of my sharing in my life.
Thanks, Peter. All right.
So you guys can ask questions and we'll answer them and discuss. What's that?
Discussion.
Discussion.
Yep. So I'll let you take control back. Yeah, I'll even let you do that.
So I'll stop sharing. So if you want to ask questions, you can take the screen, or you can simply type your question in the chat, and then I'll show your question.
Raise the hand.
Oh yes. So Gloria, you can go ahead.
I was just clapping actually. I wasn't
Oh,
raising my
good.
hands, but thank you very much.
Sorry. Okay. If you have questions, don't hesitate to take the stand, well, the screen. So we have one question here. Can you speak of forgiveness?
Yes, that's what we do in life too. It doesn't matter what you do in life, we forgive because it's not gonna be there forever in life, right? Just gotta forgive what you did. Like that's what we do too after what they do badly, but we forgive and just move on with life and get back together as one again.
I have a question for you, Peter. Can you talk to us a little bit about what you feel are some of the important things you've learned from your grandfather?
Yes, I'll go out on the land every day, like growing up with them. I learn about like where to go and which way not to go when you're boating. And when you're walking on the land, like even going up the hill, he taught me how to climb it. Like he taught me how to make nets, taught me how to like how to hunt this animal. He taught me so many things out there still in my head right now.
That's wonderful. I'm just looking to see. Does anybody have any questions here in the boardroom with some general comments they'd like to share? Oh, we've got Gloria here. Go ahead, Gloria.
Thank you very much for. Oh yeah, sorry. Thanks very much for the presentation. I have a question about sort of like goals with respect to Inuit society values. So I've heard elsewhere that a lot of times the goals for IQ is about like living a,
Oh no.
you know, what would like a good life for you look like in terms of, you know, how you would like to live your life? I don't know if that's too complicated.
What can you repeat what you said? You froze right there.
Oh yeah, we lost you for just a couple of seconds.
Go ahead again, Gloria.
Sorry, I'm just gonna move rooms. But I've heard other elders talk about how IQ is partly about trying to live a good life. You know, the kind of life that you want, that Inuit want. How about for you, Peter? What would a good life look like for you? Like, you know, if you were looking at goals for yourself in your life.
Uh, that's kind of hard question for me to answer.
What about, Peter, if I asked you, for example, if you were going to share something with your daughter, you've got a new kid on the way, what would you like to share with them?
Oh, like
Yeah, maybe.
okay, like pass it on,
As
pass it
well.
on to the new lives, what's coming, and make sure they're gonna do the same. Like I'll teach them what I've been taught and make sure that they're gonna keep passing on to the future what they're gonna have.
What are some of the important things for you in terms of having a good life? What would that mean for you, a good life?
As long as everyone's happy and as long as everyone's like can't really answer it at this moment.
That's okay. Those are
Yeah.
tough questions.
Yeah.
Those are tough questions sometimes, but equal for everyone to be happy,
Yes.
right? I think that's important for
Yeah.
sure.
What are, maybe just, Peter, in your mind, what are some of the things that make,
Will make happiness.
Yeah.
Like make them go out hunting, make sure they have their education, and make sure they know about the seasonal hunting and just pass it on to them what I've been taught.
We have one question in the chat. So The GN usually talks about a set of values, and I'm glad to have learned that they are in fact 38. Can you talk about the difference between the list we learned today and the one that the government refers to when it talks about IQ values?
Is that David as well?
Yeah, so the list, so I can answer that one for you. So the lists are pretty much the same. The 38 Inuit societal values were compiled in conjunction with the RIAs and
What's the RI?
well, sorry. That was, see, I'm in a Calvin, it's all acronyms. So the Inuit regional associations, so the organizations that represent the Inuit in the 3 different regions, have worked with the government of Nunavut and the NTI to really develop these values and put them in a word format. And really it's for us in the Western world, right? Again, as we were talking about, Inuit don't necessarily wake up in the morning and look at the list and go, these are the ones I'm practicing today, right? It's cultural, it's ingrained, it's very similar to our own cultures, and we have practices that we follow, and this is the same thing. They get up in the morning and they live that.
Thank you, Dave.
We only had one. Oh no. So first for Gloria, will you share the presentation afterwards?
Yes.
Yes. The question, is Peter willing to share how he lives his Inuit values in the work he's doing?
Yeah.
Oops. Oh no.
Yeah, the things what I'm doing right now, I'm loving it, and like passing it on to people who doesn't know about the Inuit values. And I love to work things out, like to make sure you guys can understand what Inuit value and Inuit culture is all about. Make sure you guys can understand what we've been going through in our own lives and what we've been listening to, and make sure you guys can understand everything about those stuff.
What are 2 things that you really enjoy about working with Adawa?
Working with Odawa, the 2 things I like to do is to help the Inuits and to help everyone who's like, I don't care what your like where you came from with your culture. I don't care where you came from, but I love to help. And then my second one is to speak Inuktitut in front of them. Like they feel so open after when I speak Inuktitut to them, because they're Inuks too. So I have to speak Inuktitut, and they feel open to me and start talking to me what's happening in their lives and making me understand what they're going through. So I love those 2 things in my workplace, what I'm doing right now.
There's no more questions in the chat. Do you have any last questions?
Final round.
Yeah, final round of question, either in the chat or you can go ahead.
Hi. I'm wondering if you can tell us whether you've had an opportunity to speak with any elders who have given feedback, who have sat with the court in communities. I've noticed that a couple of communities I've traveled to have elders that sit beside the judge, and I'm wondering if by chance you've gotten any feedback or talked to those elders about what their experience has been.
So Peter may not be able to answer that question. And I could maybe put some perspective in the reason why. The elder's likely not going to talk about it. It's not going to be something that they would engage other community members in that conversation. those things are private, and as Peter's referred to, a lot of those conversations with the elders are kept private. They're with the individual, and it may be a group of elders, but it's generally a really private thing. Peter may be able to answer from a perspective of some of the people that he knows and their experience with the justice system. You probably shed some light on that.
Sure. So just to be clear, what I'm referring to is typically in the experiences I've had, they're not. I'm sure the elders may have private conversations with certain individuals, but what I'm talking about is when they're sitting right beside a judge in a community and they're sort of engaged in the open court process. But I respect that perhaps they just don't talk about that, and that's completely fine. I was just curious.
Any last questions? No?
Final thoughts about having spent time, about having spent time. There we go. About spending time with us today. This is the first time we're welcoming a young Inuk man to talk to our membership. So I really wanted to honor that today and recognize how we appreciate you sharing your own views, your thoughts as a young Inuk man, and the great work you're doing with your fellow Inuit. Any final thoughts from your end?
Thank you for making me be here, and thank you for listening what I had to say, and thank you for going into this presentation and having time for me to talk to you guys.
That's a wonderful. David, any final thoughts? Really, both of you having flown from Ottawa to come and do this presentation in person.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, and to be honest, the not that I wouldn't be honest anyways, but the experience has been absolutely wonderful for me, because I've had the opportunity to work with Peter in preparing this presentation, and it certainly expanded my knowledge.
Great.
So thank you, Peter.
Nice.
Going to share the videos that we weren't able to view today, the Peter Irnik videos. We'll send that off. It's our AGM next week. We'll try to set it off before, if not soon after our AGM, and look forward to continuing to deliver these different types of PD events, unique with respect to Inuit values. It's very much appreciated. So thank you both, and safe travels back to Ottawa.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's been spectacular weather here in Iqaluit. So hopefully you get to enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Nakume, and thanks everyone for joining us today. Take care.
All right.
Kuya na may pita.
Mm.